G'day jabronis, it is the Verd, back with you again, and we're here with a quick little, team builder, because I kind of left this on a little bit late. I forgot to record the team builder before my game against Cheese. So this is actually being done post-recording, but I'm not going to try and give away any results with any of the sets that I have. But this is obviously for playoffs, so I should probably explain what happened with the last week. Technically, last week was meant to be against Gypsy King. To basically summarise it, Gypsy and I were basically already through to playoffs. Realistically, regardless of which one of us won, one of us, we wouldn't be facing each other. I'd either be facing Rob Jr. or Cheese. So we just said, fuck it, we're going to go with a meme game. And safe to say, he tried. Bless Gypsy's soul. He did try to bring memes, and there were some pretty cool sets. He brought a natural gift Sunkern, which is pretty spicy and everything, but in classic Gypsy fashion, he brought a few conventional things, which can't be helped. It's just how he rolls, and I understand that. It's really hard to sometimes bring memes, but you know your boy. I brought, I think it was Carmine Cartana. I brought some other really crazy stuff. So it is what it is, and the funny thing is, some of the sets actually from that meme game are going to be in this game, because when I saw the sets, I then looked at the matchup against Cheese and said, well, shit, they actually might work. So I really don't want to do this right now. Don't interrupt me again, computer. Anyway, we're going to crack into the team against Cheese. So as you guys know, we played Cheese in week 8, and we actually picked up, I believe it was a 2-0 win. Bulu coming in clutch, being able to outspeed Tran. However, we would have won the game earlier if it wasn't for Zygarde getting burned by Flamethrower. So I'm not letting that happen again. Even if he does get burned, I am running Rest Talk. For a couple of reasons. One, I do not want to get burned by Heatran again. That is something that I just don't want to see happen to me. But also because, realistically, looking at Cheese's roster, 1000 Arrows is the only move that Zygarde really needs. You could run E-Speed maybe to pick off some of his faster mons, but realistically, with DD, I outspeed those anyway. I had a couple ideas in mind for this Zygarde set, but this is one I've settled on. It has enough speed. Actually, no, I kind of messed this up, funnily enough. It was meant to have enough speed to creep Tran, but I accidentally gave it the exact speed of Tran, because I kept thinking Tran was 277, but it's not 277. So that was a mistake on my part. Tran is 278, so that was pretty silly from me. So my plan was to basically be able to outspeed Tran 100% of the time if I DD, but also just to naturally outspeed it, to be able to hit it up with the arrows play. I have that exact attack investment, because that attack investment at +1 ensures that a Z1000 arrows will knock out a Manaphy, which is really important, as Manaphy is one of his only real checks to Zygarde, and he still needs to run it quite fast, I feel, in this matchup, at least fast enough to potentially outspeed Zygarde. So I think if he's doing that, then I can capitalize and be able to knock it out. If he brings Scarfed again, I have 176 special defense investment, so Ice Beam cannot knock me out, unless he is the Z Ice move. But again, like I said, I outspeed, so I'll be able to kill him first. The other really important thing about this is I'm not bringing Safety Goggles Hooper, or Safety Goggles anything else, so this is actually my primary Amoonga switching, which might seem a bit counteractive because of Foul Play and HP Ice, but at the same time, with some things you'll see a bit later on, you'll see it's not as counterproductive as you think. It can switch on the Spore just fine, and I actually think he'll be a bit afraid of bringing Spore in this matchup, since if it doesn't bring a bug move, he's not really able to stop Hooper. I think he'll bring Foul Play instead, so I expect a move set of potentially Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, Ice, Foul Play, and then just some other move that can hit potentially Katana and other things a little bit harder. Could be something, but we'll have to wait and see what Cheese does. I feel like he doesn't have the room to run Spore this week. I just don't feel. But realistically, Zygarde, like I said, it's kind of a win con as well, because late game DD can really put in work. But its main premise is to break one of his walls. Either Amoongus or Manaphy would be the two ideal ones, as there is 2 best switches. It also can potentially break Mandibuzz if Mandibuzz doesn't want to whirlwind me out, but I gotta be careful of Mandibuzz. It can be a bit of an annoying Pokemon to deal with. Now I'm gonna save this Hooper set until later on. The Hooper and the Beedrill can be saved till last, but am I allowed to? Oh, my Camtasia's acting a bit funny, not letting me click in the area I want to click in, or is it my team builder that's not responding? It is my Chrome that is not responding. Okay, so that's delightful. I'm gonna pause until it actually. Oh my! okay? I think we're good now. Are we good? Are we... Can I click on things and be okay? I really don't know. My recording is working fine, but for some reason my Chrome, as you can see by my mouse constantly being on this thing, is acting up really when I don't want it to be, which is just, you know, fan-flippin-tastic. Can I click on this set and it loads up? That would be just great. I don't have to be sitting here talking forever. Just click on one of these sets. Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, we got Kartana. So at least we got some other set. Kartana's probably the most standard set here today. It is pretty straightforward, just a Scarf set. It is creeping Manaphy because does it outspeed Kartana? Kartana can't outspeed naturally, being Swellow and Raikou. So speed creeping the next closest thing, putting a bit of Spadef in for the potential Ice Beam, or maybe like HP Ices from Scarf Tran, from Raikou, potentially Boom Burst from Swellow, which I can take with that investment if need be, but realistically, Defog doesn't have to be there either. It could have been Smart Strike for the Sylveon, but at the same time I just felt that Sylveon is pressured immensely by my team, so I didn't expect him to ever bring it. Basic premise of Kartana is that he doesn't have a lot for this once it starts rolling. The thing is, his best two checks to it are Heatran and Amoonguss, and I guess Mandibuzz to an extent, but because my Zygarde and things like Bulu and that are designed to take those things out, it means that it can really clear a path for Kartana late game, and with Beast Boost I can just run through his team. Last time he brought a Choppletran, so even at +1 I can potentially run through Choppletran, so really important mon. It's pretty straightforward. Sacred Swords for Heatran, T-Tar, Stoutland, all that kind of stuff. Psycho Cuts for the Amoonguss, and Leaf Blade obviously is mainly for the Manaphy, as well as just anything else, honestly, like Donphan and Raikou and whatnot. But yeah, reasonably straightforward set, just spam moves, hope for the best. Defog's just there in case he tries to Hazard Attack on me, which I really doubt he will, but just in case, I suppose, we'll be prepared for it. Next up we have Nihilego. So this was a bit of an interesting set to kind of tinker with too. So it has the speed enough again to create Manaphy, and a pretty interesting item, I suppose. You're thinking, Verd, why would you give this thing a Sugar Berry? Because realistically, as you know, Nihilego's got horrible defense, and a Sugar Berry isn't going to save it from a Donphan EQ. However, with the Sugar Berry and the defensive investment I've given my Nihilego, it means that I can actually live an adamant 252 attack Donphan's EQ in grassy terrain with Sugar Berry, and then straight up knock it out with the Grass Knot. So that's a really important calc. I'm rocking Thunder Wave. Initially it was Reflect to kind of counteract DD T-Tar, because I felt DD T-Tar was the best set it could bring here. Like, Bulky's okay, but DD can threaten my team a lot harder. Hence why I got the Scarf Kartana too. But basically, the Thunder Wave was there to counteract T-Tar and counteract Manaphy. Now granted, if it's a Carmine, Rain Dance, Manaphy, it's a little bit threatening, but at the same time, I have Bulu plus Kartana, so I feel like he's not going to bring the mono-attacking Manaphy set. It just seems a bit silly. So I went with the Thunder Wave to kind of counteract a few of his faster mons that could hit me hard. It also counteracts Swellow, which means that it can't just go for like HP Ground to kill me. Can't go for really any move to kill me, and I can just Thunder Wave it back. Yes, it gives it a potential Guts boost, but at the same time I slow it down, and that's way more important. Power Jam and Grass Knot just covers pretty much his entire team. Power Gem is just a kind of spammable move. Grass Knot's realistically only there for Donphan plus T-Tar, and Grass Knot in grassy terrain does a lot to T-Tar, which is really, really handy. And I mean, the main aim of it realistically is just to get up rocks. It doesn't really have to do much else in retrospect, I don't think. Like, it's not really needing to, but I wanted that defense investment to be able to take a hit from Donphan if I had to. Super important in this matchup. But like I said, it is getting grassy terrain support from my Tapu Bulu this week. Bit of an interesting Bulu set, I suppose. I'm running enough speed to creep Mega T-Tar if it is Jolly. Unfortunately, Bulu just is a little bit slower than Heatran, which is why I thought I was going to lose that week 8 game, but luckily it didn't run enough speed. So realistically, I chucked in a bunch of HP, because my thought process was, I'm going to try and optimize the Bulu as much as I can, because you could easily just slap this as a 252 set, and that's whatever, but in this scenario, I decided to go with a more optimal Bulu set, and that was a Bulu that was kind of designed to deal with a few of his main switch-ins. So the big thing is Amoonguss here. With Expert Belt, Jolly Zen Headbutt at +2 will knock out fully defensive Amoonguss after rocks, and that is huge. That means that Amoonguss can't come in against Bulu for free. Like, it does get the grassy terrain plus the black sludge, but even then, it is a roll, and if it's taken any prior damage, then it's going to die. So that's the kind of thing of where if he brings in Amoonguss against Zygarde, then I can weaken Amoonguss to be in Bulu range. Potentially Kartana can weaken Amoonguss into Bulu range, so all it takes is a little bit of damage to open the door for Bulu, for sure. Horn Leech is obviously just a spammable move against him, and then Superpower is mainly there for Tyranitar and the Heatran, especially. With the HP investment I actually have, Heatran's Lava Plume or Flash Cannon is actually a 12.5% chance to kill me from max, so that's pretty nice. Overall, I'm not really planning to take a hit like that from Heatran. I'd rather avoid a situation like that. The aim more for me in this matchup is just trying to break through things with Bulu or to tank a hit, because obviously this is actually one of my more immediate Manaphy checks, surprisingly, because I know he likes to run a more bulky variant of Manaphy than an aggressive set, so Bulu should be able to handle that. Plus, given the grassy terrain boost to Kartana, if I can get rid of Heatran and I can get rid of Amoonguss, or even Mandibuzz for that matter, Kartana can just spam grassy terrain boosted Leaf Blade, and that's huge. So now we're going to go to the two questionable sets, and I brought these two sets, or very similar sets, in the meme game against Gypsy, and they didn't work in that game because Gypsy decided in a meme game he'd bring Leech Seed, Celesteela. But regardless, I felt really confident with this idea. It was a basic idea in my head of how I wanted it to go, so bear with me. First up, we have this Beedrill spread. So, I know what you're thinking. It's pretty out there. The main thing to note is that with that amount of speed, Beedrill is able to speed creep a DD T-Tar. Dragontan's Mega Tyranitar will not be able to outspeed Mega Beedrill when it has that much speed. Then I chucked enough into defense and HP just to be able to take a variety of hits. But the main premise of this set, as you can kind of tell, is to set up an Iron Defense as my opponent goes out to what I would assume to be the Donphan or the Amoonguss, and then pass it out to a certain mon. So if he goes out to Donphan, I'm more than likely going to be, oh my god, just keep it the same. I don't care. I don't care. Sorry about that. I really didn't have time for that. But the basic plan is to pass this out into either Nihilego, Zygarde, or Hooper, depending on the situation. So, in some situations I want to go out to Nihilego. Very rarely. That's more depending on what it goes into. Mainly the idea is to go into the Hooper or the Zygarde. Zygarde's really good with this too, because you have to remember that I'm passing a +2 defense boost into my Zygarde, which means that Foul Play from Amoonguss and Mandibuzz is not going to do as much. I can DD up, and I'm going to have the natural bulk to be able to take those Foul Plays a lot better because of the +2 defense, so that's really important. I have just Roost on there just for general, just in case I get a bit weakened, heal myself up, and I'm running Poison Jab as my main attacking move of choice. Even with no attack investment to a T-Tar, I can still do 17 to 20%, so it's pretty good chip at that point, and I really wanted it to be able to cover Sylveon, just in case he tried to bring some kind of silly Sylveon set. I actually didn't expect Sylveon to come in this matchup, but just in case it does, I wanted to be able to deal with it regardless. And yeah, the main aim though was to set this up against a Donphan or even T-Tar, and then the end game, guys, is passing out to this guy. So this is kind of the pièce de résistance, is my Hooper Unbound set. Now, I don't think you've ever seen a Hooper Unbound like this before. It's max defense Hooper, and it's wild, but there's a method to the madness. Let me break down some stuff for you. This Hooper set, with the defense investment that it has, a Banded Adamant Stoutland's Return is not a 2-hit KO. If I get to +2 defense with this set, a non-attack reducing Natured Manaphy's U-Turn is not a 2-hit KO, which normally would OHKO a Hooper, bear in mind. This thing is designed to come in against physical attackers at potentially +6 defense. Like if Beedrill can just set up Iron Defenses for days against Donphan, perfect. I can just set them up for days, potentially set it up on T-Tar if I scout for no Stone Edge, and eventually pass out the Hooper. If this thing has +6 defense, then I can just start Calm Mining up, and I have Recycle with an Iapapa Berry. Now, if you don't know what Iapapa Berry does, it's one of those special little berries which basically will restore half of your HP when you're at a quarter or less. So the basic plan is let him whittle me down, but then get all my health back, and then as he keeps on trying to chip away at me, recycle my berry again, and just keep on recycling and using it to the point where he's not really able to break my Hooper, and instead Hooper breaks his team. Psyshock plus Focus Blast basically covers everything on his team. Psyshock over Psychic because of Sylveon. It allows me to actually 1v1 Calm Mind Sylveon because I have Calm Mind on my own, and because of Hooper's incredible special defense, I can easily pretty much take it on with the recycle factor as well. Sylveon is not able to break me that much. And I'm actually able to take hits from T-Tar too. Stone Edge, when I get to +2 with this superset, is not a 2 KO as well, and that's a freaking Mega T-Tar we're talking about, so it's kind of ridiculous. This is kind of the Hail Mary end play for me, is Beedrill passing into this, setting up Calm Minds, and just running through his team. Recycle's also really nice because his main method of dealing with Hooper in the past has been U-turn from Manaphy, or could be U-turn from Mandibuzz, and with those two moves, because I'm actually running enough speed to creep Sylveon, it also means that Manaphy should outspeed me. So Manaphy outspeeds, goes for U-turn, but then I go for a cycle on that turn. He pops my berry, I go back up to decent health, and then I go for a cycle. So I'm covered for the next time Manaphy comes in. Then I can just choose to Calm Mind or attack against something. So I can, as the move says, just recycle through and consistently deal with the Manaphy. So whether it works, I have no idea, because realistically, it is a bit of a hit and miss kind of idea. It could be really, really smart. It could be really, really good. Or it could fall completely flat on its face, and that is obviously not what I want to see happen, but it's definitely possible, guys. And realistically, though, I felt in playoffs I had to try and bring some heat, I had to try and throw Cheese off of his game, and I'm hoping this Hooper set is able to do that. It's going to be interesting for sure. I think that it could be a set that really throws him off guard, and I'm hoping it can give me the momentum I need to book myself into the semi-finals. I mean, it could happen. We'll have to wait and see, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed this team. If you have, like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Comment down below about how you feel these sets are going to go, and a little bit later on, you will see my match against Cheese Boy. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. My name is Bird, and I'm out this bitch.